Good morning and welcome along to lesson 182. Lesson 182 is one of those cornerstones of A Course in Miracles, and it is I will be still an instant and go home. We'll explore it in a moment, but it's a really important one, and it's one that we will be putting into practice again and again and again, and it's just going to become such an important part of your life. So we will allow ourselves, first of all, to drop in, to relax our bodies, soften our gaze, very consciously open our minds and open our hearts. And we begin this day in gratitude. We open our hearts and we surrender to love. We ask love to lead the way through the minutes and the hours of this new day. We welcome joy, fun, and abundant prosperity. We recognize that all encounters are wholesome and that all experiences can be met with a peaceful heart that is anchored in the truth that we are one, that we are love, and that we are free. And so we release these words and we let it be. Okay. So you are going to be using this so often. You may not believe it when we do it first, but trust me, it will be something that you will be doing again and again in your life. So I will be still an instant and go home. This world you seem to live in is not home to you. And somewhere in your mind, you know that this is true. A memory of home keeps haunting you, as if there were a place that called you to return, although you do not recognize the voice, nor what it is the voice reminds you of, yet still you feel an alien here. From somewhere all unknown. And, I distinctly remember this feeling as a child. It was very clear to me. I felt like I didn't belong. I wondered why I was here, what it was all about. And in growing into adulthood, that longing to return to love, to return to a home that you can't quite remember, tends to be there in all of us. So nothing so definite that you could say with certainty that you are an exile here, just a persistent feeling, sometimes not more than a tiny throb, at other times hardly remembered, actively dismissed, but surely to return to mind again. So check in. Are you familiar with that feeling of that you are somehow displaced, that there is something missing or lacking in your life? And again, dare I say it, it's probably what has brought you here. There is this sense of longing and looking for more. Everyone knows what we're speaking about, yet some try to put away their suffering in games they play to occupy their time and keep their sadness from them. Others will deny that they are sad and do not recognize their tears at all. Still others will maintain that what we speak of is illusion, not to be considered more than a dream. Yet who, in simple honesty, without defensiveness and self-deception, would deny they understand the words we speak? So you do get to take this time and space to question, is this true for you? Do you recognize what we're speaking about? And where they talk about, that some try to put away their suffering in games they play to occupy their time. I was working with a spiritual teacher recently, and they said to me, is this really what you want to do with your time? Do you want to spend your evenings watching Netflix? And I'd never told them that I watch Netflix, but I do. And, I had this knowing that it was a distraction from the things that would allow me to walk home and to get home quicker, if that makes sense. So we speak today for everyone who walks this world, for they are not at home. They go uncertainly about in endless search, seeking in darkness what they cannot find. not recognizing what it is they seek. 1,000 homes they make, yet none contents their restless mind. They do not understand, they build in vain. The home they seek cannot be made by them. There is no substitute for heaven. All they ever made was hell. So in this instance, hell is separation. So all we do is we create separation. Perhaps you think it is your childhood home that you would find again. The childhood of your body and its place of shelter are a memory now so distorted that you merely hold a picture of a past that has never happened. Yet there is a child in you who seeks its creator's home and knows that it's alien here. This childhood is eternal, with an innocence that will endure forever. Where this child will go is holy ground. It is its holiness that lights up heaven and that brings to earth the pure reflection of the light above, where earth and heaven are joined as one. So this is what you're truly seeking. This is what you're longing for. It is this child in you your creator knows as its own child. It is this child who knows its creator. It desires to go home so deeply and so unceasingly. So this longing doesn't leave. Its voice cries unto you to let it rest a while. It does not ask for more than just a few instants of respite, just an interval in which it can return to breathe again the holy air that fills its creator's home. You are this child's home as well. It will return. Give this child a little time to be itself, within the peace that is its home, and rest in silence and in peace and love. So again, that's stopping, that time, that space of grace. And we have got to make this decision. We've got to choose this. This child needs your protection. It's far from home. It is so little that it seems so easily shut out, its tiny voice so readily obscured, its call for help almost unheard amid the grating sounds and harsh and rasping noises of the world. Yet does it know that in you still abides its pure protection. You will not fail it. This child will go home, and you along with it. This child is your defenselessness. Wait for it. This child is your strength. This is your strength. This is where you want to put your attention. This is where you want to hang out. It trusts in you. It came because it knew you would not fail. It whispers of its home unceasingly to you. For it would bring you back with it, that it may stay and not return again where it does not belong, and where it lives an outcast in a world of alien thoughts. This child's patience has no limits. It will wait until you hear its gentle voice within you, calling you to let it go in peace along with you to where it is at home, and you with it. So I know I've spoken about this again, where Rumi and St. Augustine talk about wandering and looking and searching and seeking, only to turn within and realize that everything that they were seeking was within them. And this is what this lesson is about, recognizing that it is all within you. When you are still an instant, when the world recedes from you, when valueless ideas cease to have value in your restless mind, then you will hear its voice. So it's when you're ready. So poignantly, it calls to you that you will not resist it longer. In that instant, it will take you to its home, and you will stay with it in perfect stillness, silence, and at peace beyond all words, untouched by fear and doubt, sublimely certain that you are at home. Rest with it frequently today, for it was willing to become a little child that you might learn of it. How strong is the one who comes without defenses, offering only love's messages to those it thinks is their enemy. It holds the might of heaven in its hand and calls them friend, and gives its strength to them, that they may see it would be friend to them. It asks that they protect it, for its home is far away, and it will not return to it alone. So you're extending as well. So when you come home, when you land in home, you realize that you've got so much to give. You realize the potential of God, of love within you, and you extend that outwards. The innocent child of God is reborn as a little child each time a wanderer would leave its home. For the wanderer must learn that what it would protect is this child who comes defenseless and who is protected by defenselessness. Go home with it from time to time today. You are as much an alien here as it is. So really the message is rest in awareness of your true self. There's lots of different languages that is used. And for me, the simplest one is to turn within and rest within the awareness of the love that I am. Take time today to lay aside your shield, which profits nothing, and lay down the spear and sword you raised against an enemy without existence. So the enemy that you have made up doesn't exist. There is no need for you to have this armor or there is protection on you as you move through the world. The innocent child of God has called you friend and sister or brother. It has even come to ask your help in letting it go home today, completed and completely. It has come as does a little child who must beseech its parents for protection and for love. It rules the universe, and yet it asks unceasingly that you return with it and take illusions as your gods no more. So dropping all illusions and recognizing your innocence. You have not lost your innocence. It is this, for this you yearn. This is your heart's desire. This is the voice you hear, and this the call which cannot be denied. The Holy One remains with you. Its home is yours. Today it gives you its defenselessness, and you accept it in exchange for the toys of battle you have made. And now the way is open, and the journey has an end in sight at last. Be still an instant and go home with it, and be at peace a while. And so that's what we're going to do. And you are really and truly going to be amazed by how this practice is going to serve you in your life. This pausing and taking what we call in the Course in Miracles a holy instant, a holy pause, some sacred seconds, and going home, like really just dropping into the most peaceful state. And it is from that place then that you move back out and do whatever it is you need to do in the world. And, you know, you may have to do this, well, you are invited actually to do this several times a day, but this again becomes a practice, and you find yourself in turmoil or in stress or in strain or strife or whatever, and you will learn to take these pauses, these holy instants, and you will increasingly know the benefit of them. I kid you not. So let's take a holy instant now. Let's take some time and go home. Go home to the loving awareness that you are. Okay. Eyes closed. Moving into a relaxed state, which I now know that you can do in an instant. In fact, I'm going to click my fingers and you can relax, relax, and drop in. When you're ready, you can gently lift your gaze. So I will be still an instant and go home. I really hope you enjoy putting this into practice, not just today, but for all the days of your life. Anytime anything disturbs your peace, anytime you forget who and what you are, just be still that instant and go home.